Hello everyone, Robert Acutron here, Sternritter N, to tell you my life story because I sort of died last chapter. Anyway, I was born in 1945 in New York City. My mom died giving birth to me and my dad died in World War II. There was some issue with a Red Skull guy, I don't know. Anyway, though, I was adopted a year later by a nice new couple to the neighborhood, Rory and Amy Williams. They're the ones that always told me that no matter how bad I fuck up, some guy in a weird outfit will show up and make everything right. They were obviously insane, so I ran off at age 18. I joined the army and I got shipped to the Vietnam War working under Lieutenant Dan Taylor. I then got wounded in the battlefield, and then right before I was about to die, Yuha Bok, His Majesty, showed up and bestowed me power. I then remembered the words that my parents always told me, so I gratefully accepted it. After that, in between assignments, I moved to Gotham City, worked in a local KFC as a manager, and I had one son, who later on became a policeman or something. I don't know, I haven't really paid attention to him in a couple years. And then that's pretty much everything you need to know up till this point. Oh, by the way, the N stood for
Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 604, entitled Revitalize. Wonder what's gonna happen. Okay, so chapter actually opens up in the middle of Bazby, Rayjii, and Rukia's fight, where we see that Bazby, I guess, is attempting to make a change from hard rock music to just pure screamo. Rayjii and Rukia are looking on, and he's like, "What? What's going on, Bazby?" Really, Rayjii knows Bazby's name? I wonder how he found out his name. How did that go? You know, like, because last time we saw, like, there's so much we don't know about this fight. I mean, this could have been the most epic fight ever. They could have gotten on good terms, then gone back on bad terms. Like, so, like, the last time we know, you know, Bazby showed up to Rukia and Rayjii, and I think Rayjii talked shit about his mohawk, and that got him all pissed off, and then he did Burner Finger 4, which is like a giant sword thing, and then we see a big explosion, and then we cut to here. So, at some point, I guess Bazby told him, "Oh, by the way, I'm Sterner H. Bazby. How nice to meet you. You have nice eyebrows." And then they just got into a big fight. You know, whatever. So he does the same thing Loloto did last chapter, basically. He shouts up to the sky and, you know, like chastising, you know, Yuha. Like, you know, "What are you doing? Is this how you do things, Yuha, Your Majesty?" And, then we cut back to where Giselle and Loloto were, the area like underneath that rubble where we saw, you know, Robert got nuked outside the rubble. So Loloto ducked into like the cave area where, you know, Bambietta and Giselle were, and Giselle's like reciting this mantra to Bambietta, like, "I'm not gonna die, I'm not gonna die." And Loloto's sitting there and she's just like, "Of course we're not gonna fucking die. We can't die here." And they like both shout to the heavens. So their stories aren't done yet. There's something else that's going to happen with them. Maybe we're going to get, like, backstories for them, like, why they joined the... There's something shitty up with my power in this house for the past couple days. The lights have been dimming like crazy, so I'm going to try to do this, and maybe that'll help. But yeah, I have no idea what it is. I really don't. It's just, like, there's, like, less power in this house the past couple days. I really don't know. Anyone that's an electrician, maybe help me. Anyway, yeah, there's going to be some story with Loloto or Bazby at some point. You know, like, so they're not being turned to skeletons now. My theory is that their powers are going to be, like, destroyed. Like, their powers are going to go up to Yuha, and they're just going to be regular human beings or whatever without being Quincy. Same thing that happened with Masaki and Katagiri. So then we cut to different scenes around the Vandente. We see Byakuya, who's just, looks like he's on, like, just a casual stroll. I don't really know what he's going or what he's doing. There's really not a lot of people left. So I would assume he's either heading to go see what the deal is, like where Ichigo and the others went, or he's going to go meet up with the First Division with Shunsui. Other than that, I have no idea where he's heading. He notices all the bright lights of the Seirete going up. Now, right here we see 6 lights. We see 6 lights. So we have Loloto, Giselle, Meninas, if she's still alive, Bazby, that would be 4, Candace, maybe, if she's still alive, and I guess Robert Acutron would be the 6th one. Wait, no, was included in them too. I don't know if the Quincy's have to be dead for the, Swollen to be effect, the Holy Selection. I don't know if they have to be dead, or if it's just something that, like, their powers go up regardless if they're dead or not. But anyway, yeah, so we do cut over to the 1st Division Barracks, and first time in a long time, we see, I think since chapter, like, 559 or some shit, we've seen Shunsui there, and he's still in the exact same position he was last time, staring out over the Vandente, you know, watching all the lights go up, and he says, "No, Okakiba was the original third seed of the first division, in case you forgot. Yamamoto promoted him, I guess, to the enacting lieutenant, and then when he died, I guess Shunsui just wanted Okakiba and Nanao to both be their lieutenant, so they're both standing there, they're both wearing the armband, and they're just like, hey, I'm gonna check out for a while, guys. I'm gonna head out of here, because the main target's not the Seirete, it's looking like it's the Soul Palace." Holy shit, Yuha's target is the Soul Palace. We only knew that for almost 30 chapters, but way to get on the ball, Shunsui. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. Oh, hey, Buck, your eye got fixed again. I love that. You know, by the way, I'm gonna clarify this right now. There's some people that have been saying that, oh, Shunsui's eye is there, so that means that he's a fake Shunsui, or that means that he got a false eye, or that's eyes and in disguise. Last time that happened, where we saw Shunsui with both eyes when he should have had an eye patch, that was an artist error. Kubo actually had to correct that in the Tanaboken, in the volume format. If you read that same chapter, I forget which one it is exactly. It's one of them where he's talking to Hashwolf, and you see both eyes. He actually did have to correct it. So he's still supposed to wear the eye patch. It's just another mistake here where Kubo forgot to add it in. But it's really, you can't even see his other eye in this frame that much anyway. I mean, you can tell that it's there, but it's not that big of an issue. But, you know, I don't know why Shunsui's just standing there. Like, the better question that Okakiba and Nanao should be asking is, "Sir, why have we been standing in attention for the past 6 hours while we've been hearing explosions and shit all over the Seirete?" I mean, there was that one instance where those two lights came down from the Seirete, from the Soul Palace, and, you know, there was that big explosion. Well, you see, and then there was that other time where we saw that big ice explosion happening. Well, actually, there's a good explanation for that.
And there was the issue with that meteorite that almost crushed the entire Seirete before exploding in the upper atmosphere. Thought we might have responded to that in some way.
You know, okay, shut up, Okakiba. Just shut the hell up. You know, you're going to be dead by the end of this arc. You do understand that, right? Because, hey, who in this room is more expendable? That's what I thought. So we cut back up to the Soul Palace, where we see the Volt standing of the elite Stern Raiders. Their holy wings start to appear. Like I said last chapter, they're more like angel wings than the previous Stern Raiders have shown to be. And Nimea looks on with shock and awe before he just gets his freaking shoulder blown off by some rounds from Lily's rifle. So, you know, he's standing there and he's just like, whoa, damn, that kind of stung. You know, what's going on with that? So, of course, I like that Yuha is not the one that explains this. Yuha is not the one that steps up to the plate and says, all right, everyone, I'm going to explain your power. No, he has an assistant for that. That would be Hashwolf. Hashwolf shows up and starts stating the ability of His Majesty's power. This power is the S. Okay, you know what? Every time I say it, people get mad at me, so I'm just going to say ass wall in, just to fuck with you, okay? So, Hashwolf steps forward and says the ass wall in is the ability of His Majesty to gather the powers of the Stern Raiders that are deemed unworthy to the ones that are deemed worthy. It's not a movement of Ryatsu, and he wants to make that perfectly clear that it's not affected by the life tree. The life tree absorbs Ryatsu. This is simply moving around the powers that Stern Raiders had. So, here's the way I look at this. All the Stern Raiders have a basic reserve of Ryatsu that they use for their techniques. It's the same as the Shinigami. You know, so they'll use those, like the Ryatsu reserves, to power their highly Pifiles and what have you, and like Kirin Kyaku and their Ransuno Tengai and shit like that. However, then we have their unique abilities, like Kangdu's the Iron, Gremmy's the Visionary, Basby's the Heat. I mean, these are abilities that we've never seen any other Quincy's exhibit except for the Stern Raiders, okay? So, it's like they're powered by their Ryatsu, but their unique abilities themselves were handed down from Yuha Bach. It's Yuha's powers, he's just lending them, so I don't think that has anything to do with Ryatsu, other than just Ryatsu is the thing that fuels their power. That's the only thing, you know? So, in this situation, he's just moving around the power to the Stern Raiders. Kind of like if you ever played, like, Fire Emblem, how you can, like, move around your abilities and skills to different people. You know, you can make some people completely weak and pitiful, and you can give everybody everything to one person, make him really strong. Sort of that same deal here. So he's moving around these powers, and he's giving them to the Miracle, Herald Valkyrie, Perdina, Parajigas, whatever, Stern Raider C, and then Lille Barrow. We don't really see Askin in this chapter at all, so whatever the hell he's doing, I don't know if he went out to have a picnic somewhere. But anyway, that's the major point here, is that the Ryatsu tree, the life tree, is not going to absorb these powers. It's just something that was added to their own innate powers. And kind of something I took away from this chapter is like a main point, is that Hashwolf steps forward and he basically just says, this is just one of His Majesty's powers. So, I don't think that's Yuha's letter. I don't think the A is going to stand for ass wall in. I think it's going to stand for something else. Possibly absorb. I still think it's going to be like the absolute, the almighty, something to denote his status. I don't think it's going to be ass wall in, because that just means that's just denegate one of his powers. It doesn't mean all of them. So that's a major point I think Hashwolf was trying to get across in this chapter here. So Nimaya's response to this is basically just like, oh, damn, okay, so your bullets that weren't strong enough to reach me before, they're strong enough to reach me now. You could just ask why Nimaya didn't just hold up Sayabuse to deflect the bullet. I mean, it might have not have worked, especially since what we're going to see, but he didn't even make an attempt. Maybe it just happened so fast even he didn't register, or he was taken off guard by whatever the hell Yuha was doing. He still didn't know what Yuha was doing at all. Well, we only know because we have seen this before in other chapters and we can connect the dots. But, you know, he's like, oh, your bullets are stronger. And Lily Barrow steps up to plate and he's just like, well, actually, you got two things wrong. Number one, this isn't a new power I'm showing. This is just my innate power I didn't get to show before because it was inhibited because I didn't have all this shit to work with. Now he has all these powers to work with. He has more, he can reach higher levels than he did before, you know? So he takes aim, and then he says, the other thing you had wrong is that these aren't actually bullets. So he makes the shot, and as he makes the shot, we have Kiryu Hikifune and Korinji Tenjiro jump in to protect him with the divine swimming paddle and the spoon of the gods. By the way, it's also probably explained that Kiryu Zanpakuto is the spoon. That's pretty much been confirmed because Korinji Zanpakuto was the paddle, and now I guess he sealed it again, and now Kiryu Zanpakuto sealed is the spoon. So you gotta love that. Zanpakuto is a spoon. I love that. Shikai is a fork, and the Bankai makes it turn into Toriko from Toriko. That would be cool. But anyway, yeah, they move in to block the shot. They move their swords in front of Nimaya to protect him. However, Lily just kind of raises his gun. He kind of just smirks, and he's just like, you know, you can't protect that no matter how many walls you throw up. So then we cut back, and we see Kiryu and Korinji. You know, you gotta imagine them. They were all epic. They're gonna be like, we're gonna jump in and do epic Power Ranger posing and protect him. But no, the hole just went straight through both of their Zanpakutos. They turn around, and they see, it's like, wait a second. There's holes in our... Oh, shit. And they turn around, they see Nimaya standing there, and it's just like, oh, hey, thanks for protecting me, guys. Fucking teamwork, right? And then he just, like, falls to the ground, I'm assuming. He's still standing there in the exact same position he always was in, and now he just a hole coming from his heart. And he's like, Lily explains his power more, you know, abruptly here, because the X-axis was always kind of ambiguous. He states that his ability, X-axis... The kanji for it in Japanese, and I've mentioned this before, is basically like the perfilation of all things, the piercing of all creation. As in, no matter what, the basic idea is that it's an x-axis. X-axis is, of course, horizontal, so anything he points at, the point of his gun, the end of his gun barrel, that's point A. And then I guess he designates whatever point B is. Like, I designate point A as the gun barrel, point B is like Nimaya, and whatever's in between point A and point B, it just gets nuked or obliterated or destroyed by like an epic laser or whatever. It's not a bullet, whatever the hell it is. A laser. I mean, I thought it would be a better cool idea to be like point A, point B. Part of like the line originates from point A and the other point originates from point B, as it's coming from both directions and they just meet in the middle. That might be what it is, but the way what Lily's saying is basically whatever I designate as the target, everything in a straight line just gets obliterated. So he even says there's kind of a flaw in his power though, and the major flaw, I'm sure anyone could figure that out. Unless your opponents are standing directly in front of you, you're fucked. I mean, you can't do that wanted, you know, like twist the bullet shit. Like, it has to be a straight line. Lily Barrow even says, it would be great if you guys could, like, you know, line up in a row so I could just kill you all at once. He's basically explaining the major fault of his power. If you, like, the Maya could have been saved by, like, he's like, this is my ultimate technique. Everything in a straight line gets destroyed. Okay, I will step 1 centimeter to the left. No! I've been foiled! You know, but it moves so fast, maybe nobody can even register. I think that's what he's getting across here. So then we cut over to Perdina, who's using the compulsory ability, which has basically been confirmed as like a contortion, you know, bending ability. I don't know why he wasn't called, he or she was not just called C, the contortionist, or the contortion. But anyway, yeah, that's what it's doing. It's basically twisting the trees in order to bend them and break them. Actually, it's very similar to Nyanzel Weisel's ability. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe the ability was absorbed in Perdina for Nyanzel. I don't know what this means. Like, does this mean like Lily Barrow can shoot off like fire, like attacks now, or Harold Valkyrie shows up with like a sword with Liloto Ampert's ability that can devour everybody? I mean, that would be cool if they started exhibiting other Stern Ridder's powers. But so far, all it is just, you know, showing off advancements in their own abilities. I'm just saying Perdina's ability and Nyanzel's ability are very similar when you actually think about it. So then the cage gets broken thanks to Perdina, and then we cut to Ichibei Hyosubu, the eyeball monk who was the one who protected the actual soul palace with his magical paintbrush, which is probably going to end up being his Zanpakuto. Zanpakutos of the Zero Squad. We got a swimming paddle, we got a spoon, and a paintbrush. I love it. I love it. I wonder what, I guess Shutara's a sewing needle, so I guess, yeah. Wow, I mean, Nimaya makes sense because Nimaya's the one who made the Zanpakuto, so it would make sense why he has a normal one, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, so Yuha just appears directly in front of Ichibei. He notices that he's the one that's the only, you know, only obstruction to invading the palace, so he just shows up, he's like, Ichibei Hyosubi, will you let me pass? And Ichibei just kind of cracks a smile, and, you know, he's always such a troll. He's been hanging up there the whole time, and just like, oh, that's cute, that's cute. They think they're winning, that's cute. And he just stands up, takes the paintbrush off his back, lays it in front of him, and I can imagine this like epic booming voice because we just see like black behind him and he's just like, you better not say my name so casually or else your throat will be crushed. There was an alternate translation to this in Manga Stream that said, or your throat will be hearse, but this is much hoarse, but this is much better. This is much better than that. Your throat will be crushed. Yuha just looks on just like, okay, epic battle time. So, you know what? I finally discovered what the main problem of these fights are. You want to know what they are? You want to know? I finally get it. I just finally get it. The fights are never even. They're always one-sided. The elite Stern Ritters show up. They steamroll everybody. There's no fighting back. Shutara couldn't even lift a finger to those things. Oh, but then it finds out that it's a fake Soul Palace. And then Nimaya shows up and he just steamrolls everybody. There's no contest. They don't make any attempt to, you know, like they don't make even like a try to attempt to like stop this guy. And then now that they got their powers reabsorbed with His Majesty's ass swollen, it's like once again, it's like the Stoners are like steamrolling. They don't even care. It's like that's the main problem that's been going on here. There's no illusion that these are actual fights. This is just like, I got a power up kicking your ass. Oh, I got a better power up kicking your ass now. It's like there's no, like, this is not an actual battle. That's what I'm trying to get across here. These aren't actually fighting. Because if these were actual fights, you know, Nimaya would attack, and then maybe Herald Valkyrie would be able to like deflect it and damage Nimaya, and Nimaya still damage Herald, and then, you know, actual exchanging blows, like it's even 50-50. It could go either way, but no, it's like 100% I'm going to win. Oh, now it's 100% I'm going to win. Now it's 100% I'm going to win. That's a very bad way to structure your fights, Kubo. I'm just saying, this is a very bad way to do it. We might see something cool next chapter because it's fucking Ichibei, which is kind of the de facto leader of the Zero Squad. He might be second in strength only to the frickin' Soul King. It might be very possible because he was the first member of the Zero Squad because, you know, he's the one that named everything. So by logic, he would be the first. We know Kiryu didn't show up until later. She's the later one. So I'm assuming it would be Ichibei as the oldest member of the Zero Squad. So whatever his ability is going to be, it's going to be that fucking paintbrush. He's gonna like draw like, you know, death laser, and then a death laser appears, or like iron wall, and then like iron wall appears, and, you know, Yuha can't attack. So basically like Gremmy's power, except better. So I'm interested in what's seen last chapter. I mean, we might even get like a hint at Yuha's abilities finally, because Yuha has to see him as a threat. No matter how badass Yuha is, he has to realize, okay, this guy, who's the oldest member of the Zero Squad, who in itself is an elite, you know, squadron of Seirete, might be a little bit of a threat here. He might be able to cause me a paper cut or two. At least more dangerous than Yamamoto. We might even find out that he's a war potential. Like Ichibei being a war potential. I could totally see that. Even without seeing his abilities, I can see that. Alright, but yeah, that's the end of the chapter. What do you guys think's going to happen here, and what the hell do you think's going to happen with the remaining fights? Do you think, you know, like Kiryu and Korinchi are going to team up against freaking Lily Barrow, or, who's Herald Valkyrie going to fight with Perdina? Is Shutara going to show back up? She kind of left and went to do something else. Because Nimaya is most likely out here. He had his little fun where he's just like, I'm killing everyone, but now not. He had his fight with Askin. I mean, Askin's probably revived now too, whatever the hell, but yeah, anyway. And what do you think what's up with the Stern Raiders? I mean, I mentioned this earlier. It's like, I think, like, when Masaki and even Katagiri got hit by Aswallen, they didn't die right away. Masaki got killed by Grand Fisher, Katagiri got knocked into a coma, but here, we even see Robert Akutron. He's a skeleton, he's dead, he's nuked. So maybe it's like, if you're older, weaker constitution, you just get nuked, or like you get direct contact by the light, but maybe it's different now, because the first time he used Aswallen, it was not with all the Stern Raiders, it was just with random Quincy's. Now it's with actual Stern Raiders, so maybe the function's differently. I don't see Basby and Loloto dying, though. That's my point. They're going to probably live on, and maybe Giselle's going to survive, too. Bambietta, I don't know what the hell's up with her. Maybe if Giselle gets her power stolen, then definitely Bambietta would be dead. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. What do you think below? Let me know. And, by the way, I have something else to mention here. I got some, let's check under the Christmas tree here. I got more fan mail. And I just filmed the video for it. I'll be uploading that in the next couple days. But this is from Benningtown. This is from the same person that sent me Tozen's sword. So, gotta thank them. They're freaking awesome. She or he, or I forget their gender. Alright, so, they wanted me to give a shout out to 2 people, though. And considering they gave me a freaking Mudkip hat, and they gave me way more than this. I got way more stuff in the mail. So, go check the video when it's uploaded tomorrow, most likely. They wanted me to shout out, let's see, Wile E. OT, as in like Wile E. Coyote, I'll put link below, who does a random collection of videos ranging from missing limbs to killer toy helicopters delivering beer. Why would you want a killer toy helicopter deliver you beer? You're like, that's a nice logger, and then it kills you. And not very fun. And then Jason Yang Pranks, who is still pretty new to YouTube, but so far is notable for dressing up like a killer clown or transsexual zombie. If we haven't had enough transsexual zombies on YouTube, right? If you haven't, if Giselle Guel's not enough for you, then go check out, Jason Yang Pranks. And being a pain in the ass to McDonald's crew members. Okay, I have a friend that works at McDonald's. Alright, so anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Cry. Suzumushi.